So we have entered the next phase. All right, things are happening, major things are happening. I was warning that what happened the other day was a test run, was a test subject for what's about to go down for Europe and the United States. All right. And I was also warning how this could be the thing that they do before everything else so they can control the narrative and they know exactly what to put out, what to say, and there's no counter narrative, there's no analysis. It's just this is what happened, and the narrative is completely controlled. All right, so this could be it, guys. We are getting this double warning, two major warnings at the same time that coincide together, and we're gonna break it down exactly how they go together. All right, because they definitely do. So if you didn't hear, we'll get into this first. All right, Russian officials are warning of a, quote, nuclear dirty bomb could be detonated inside of Russia, all right, or potentially the annexed regions. But Russia supposedly has been reaching out to Western officials to warn them that there is intel that somebody is going to use a nuclear dirty bomb, all right? And essentially this is just because Ukraine doesn't have nukes, so essentially this is just radioactive material that is intertwined within a bomb just to spread radioactive material, all right? So Russia is warning that a nuclear dirty bomb, and we've seen warnings before of US officials saying that a nuclear dirty bomb could cross the border potentially, okay? Radioactive material could be snuck over the border for a nuclear dirty bomb inside the United States. We've seen warnings like this before multiple times, all right? So this is also something that could affect anywhere, and it's hard to tell where it comes from, where the isotopes come from, where everything comes from. It's very hard to tell. It's not a normal nuclear bomb, all right? That's easily trackable, traceable where it came from. So this could be something, this could be setting up for something big, all right? For a nuclear dirty bomb to be used somewhere in the world. And the reason why these two warnings coincide, because Russia is warning of this, but we are also getting another warning of what happened in France, all right? So we were talking about how the other day the cables were cut, all right? The cables were cut in the Shetland Islands, all right? And this is right outside the UK and Scotland. So the cables were cut there, the communication cables, the underwater communication internet cables were cut. Now we are being told that multiple fiber optic cables have been cut inside of France's second largest city. All right, and this is not even underwater cable. This is fiber optic cable that's in the ground, okay? That's buried underground in France's second largest city, Marseille. So it says, operators said the cables link Marseille to other cities in France and Europe, and that internet and phone services were severely disrupted, all right? French police said Friday they're investigating multiple cuts to fiber optic cables in France's second largest city. So we just saw these cuts in the UK on these Shetland Islands, and people were like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's just these islands, they're obscure. That was the counter narrative. Well, now they've been cut in the second largest city in France, all right? What happens when they're cut in your city? What happens when they're cut nationwide, when there's a coordinated effort to hit them all at once, all right? Hit all the underwater cables at once. Disconnect the cables from the United States to Europe all at once, all right? What happens when that happens? And this is going to knock out banking. They were saying people in the Shetland Islands could not access their bank accounts because the banks could not access the internet to tell them how much money is in your account, how much money to give you, and everything else to track it and trace it, okay? They couldn't do it because there was no internet. And this is an ABC News article. It goes on to say, the disruption in Marseille were a taste of what analysis warned could be a far larger problem in other cases if cables are systematically attacked. This is what's coming next. All right, we're going to see a communications attack, possibly internet lockdown, a scenario like this. Very, very scary to think about, okay? And these kill switches, everything are already in place. We already know this. We've heard about this before, internet kill switches. These things are already in place for this exact event. All right, so we're going to see a communications attack, and then we could see potentially a nuclear dirty bomb. All right, Russia's warning that somebody is going to use a nuclear dirty bomb. All right, and people are saying this could be a false flag or whatever. All right, somebody could use this. All right, doesn't matter who uses it. What matters is the repercussions that come from it. All right, because it's going to be one of these things where it's so messy that it's going to be hard to blame somebody for it. It's going to be like, he did it. No, they did it. No, they did it. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to be blaming each other for it because it's not a conventional weapon that can be easily traced back to whoever manufactured it, fired it. It's not a projectile that can be traced through the air of where it came from. You know what I mean? It's going to be something on the ground that's placed on the ground, most likely in a backpack. All right, they have tactical nukes that fit, tactical battlefield nukes that fit inside of backpacks. All right, this is official, and they have strategies to just leave this backpack in certain areas very nonchalantly and just run away. Send in one person with the backpack into an area and leave it. All right, I've read these strategies. This is strategies that they have. They could do the same thing with a dirty bomb nuclear weapon. Okay, same exact scenario. Could run into any random place very nonchalantly, be left in some kind of bag or whatever, and the person's gone. Could be gone forever. It could be untraceable in certain areas where there's no cameras or there's no surveillance or whatever. Certain areas, it could just be a free-for-all, honestly. So we need to get prepared. They are warning that these cables are going to be cut. All right, the second biggest city in France. Imagine the second biggest city in the United States. I don't know what it is, like LA or something. New York's number one, LA's number two or something. All right, imagine if the fiber optic cables were cut in LA and nobody had phone or internet service, okay? That would be devastating. What would the airports do? What would all the businesses do in this area? It would be a major shutdown. Everything is has a reliance on the grid, on the internet now. That's the society that we live in, all right? So let me know what you guys think about this. Are you prepared for a potentially communications grid down scenario? That could be the first step, and then we could see a nuclear situation and could see a potential lockdown, martial law situation, or power outage situation after that, all right? I'm just playing out scenarios, but this is looking more likely every day, guys. France hit hard, cables cut, all right? So let me know what you think. Thank you guys for watching. Stay prepared, guys. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Thank you, guys, and you have a big old blessed day.